Hey, what's going on, guys? Jer-bear here, and today we are back with another animation. Two animation videos in a row. All right, we're doing this. We are doing this. This animator is Wolfychu. Bad job interviews. Now, weirdly enough, I was never given a job interview. They just sent me straight to the job. But yeah, I'll talk about it at the end of the video if you actually want to listen to that. But right now we're just gonna get on the video and see how her job interviews go. And by the name of the title, I'm guessing that they're gonna be bad. So let's get right into it. In 3, 2, 1, let's react.
Hi everyone, this is Wolfychu, and I've been thinking lately about the job interviews I've had in the past, and I remember just how terrible I am at them. Even though I'd always try to look confident, I was never very good at hiding how nervous I felt. I've been to a lot of different places looking for jobs in the past, but a lot of the times where I went to interviews, I'd have the same problem. I felt like a lot of people didn't really take me seriously, I guess because I didn't look or sound my age. There were a few bad job interviews in particular that I remember having that I wanted to talk about. I remember the first job interview I had after moving to Australia. It was in this little nearby cafe. I was looking for any kind of work back then, and I thought that working in the cafe sounded like something that I could do. It didn't sound like a hard job. I thought it could be nice to work somewhere like that. On the day of the interview, even though I walked into the cafe feeling pretty nervous, I tried to convince myself that it was going to be fine, I could do this job, and all that they were going to do was ask me a few simple questions. But I couldn't get thoughts out of my head like, what if I was going to be taken into somewhere like an interrogation room where they would shine a light in my face while demanding answers to their questions? That thought made me even more nervous. But then the guy appeared and he called me over to a table in the cafe to just sit casually with him, so that turned out nothing like what I feared. So the interview starts off fine. The guy was just making a little bit of small talk, and I felt like I could relax a little because he seemed friendly enough. I noticed that he seemed to have a permanent smile on his face. I guess he was just a really happy person. But then all of a sudden his face changes from the usual smile to completely serious, and he asked me, "Tell me the name of every type of coffee you know." I don't even drink coffee, so my mind went blank and I could only think of like 2 different names of coffee. I realized then that I was applying for a job at a cafe and I had no idea about anything to do with coffee or how to make it. The guy did not look impressed.
Is that Saitama from One Punch Man?
Happy like before. Maybe he was actually really passionate about coffee, so having someone like me trying to come work at his cafe was almost an insult. I thought that I blew the interview for sure. But then, out of the blue, he asked me if I like anime. I was so surprised, and I felt this little glimmer of hope thinking that maybe we'd somehow connected. But then he turned his laptop around, and I felt my stomach sink as he showed me the email I wrote to him, and I saw that my avatar was the picture of an anime girl. I'd completely forgotten that I still had that picture. I was really embarrassed. I didn't even know what to say. I kind of just awkwardly waited for him to change the subject.
What can you say after that? You know,
I didn't get that job. Another job interview I had was in a second-hand store where they sold things like video games, DVDs, and CDs. I thought that this could be a good job because the last job I had before this was in a supermarket, and this place was a lot less busy, so it seemed like working here would probably feel pretty easy. I just had a long day of looking around for jobs, and I went into the store feeling hopeful. The manager in there told me that they were looking for people to hire, and he started to interview me right away. It was all normal at first, but then, right when I thought the interview was over, he says that he has one very important question to ask me. He said, "If an alien was about to attack you right now, what kind of pose would you take?"
Excuse me?
This question caught me completely off guard since he seemed so professional before, but he looked completely
What's this job again?
I awkwardly did this little pose because I didn't know what else to do. The guy just nods and says, "Defensive cactus. Nice." And he writes it down on my resume.
Nice.
I don't know if he did that to kind of lighten up the mood, since it was probably really obvious that I was nervous. But I just found it really weird, especially since it was the last question he asked me before finishing up the interview. Maybe he really did have aliens chasing after him and he needed some advice. I hope it helped. Then there was this other interview I had at a restaurant. I thought that this place would be great because it was so close to where I live, I could easily just walk to work each day. So I went there, but I found that the door was locked, even though they were supposed to be open at that time. I decided to check
it could be
around the
jammed,
back
you
just
know.
in case, and I found the manager carrying some boxes in. When I told him why I was there, he asked me to go around the front and hit open the door. So I ran back around the front and got inside, but I don't know what it was about the restaurant, but I instantly felt really weird being in there. It was dead quiet. There were all of these empty tables and chairs. Nobody was there. It made me feel really uneasy, like I wasn't supposed to be there. I know it sounds stupid, but I started to feel kind of scared. It felt like when you walk into a random creepy area of a video game, like the Strange House in Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. Suddenly the manager popped out from behind the counter, which made me jump. And I felt like I couldn't just leave, so...
You ready for your job interview?
It was strange though. He seemed really chatty at first, but now he was being really quiet and had the most blank look on his face. It was like he was a different person now. I kind of felt like he didn't even want me in there. He started asking me a couple of questions, but I was feeling more and more uncomfortable by the weird vibes I was getting. The man's face was still really blank. He just stood there staring at me dead in the eyes. I was actually purposely answering questions kind of badly because for the first time, I really did not want my interview to go well. I did not want to work there. He was asking me things like, would you be able to do tasks like washing the dishes and cleaning around the restaurant? And I'd just be like, maybe sometimes? Luckily, I wasn't in there too long. I left that place as quickly as I could without running. I was worried that I was gonna get a call back from them because the man said he would, but he never did, so that was
They
good.
always say that, but they never do a call
Those were some
back.
of the worst and weirdest job interviews I've had. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see my works in progress and get your own special little badge to appear next to your name when you comment, then I hope you'll consider becoming a member of my channel. The join button is right next to the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Bye!
I have applied for many jobs, and the few jobs that I did get, they just like sent me straight to work, no interview, nothing. But there were like a few jobs or a few places where I was trying to work, signed in the application, talked to the person a little bit, and said, "Okay, if we need you, we'll call you." And they never called, never called. The first time I had a job was when I worked at my town's county fair. Yeah, I was kind of young, about 15, and I needed money, and like I only worked for like 2 days, in the hot sun, losing my voice, skin getting darker, meeting friends and seeing them having a good time. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. I liked it. You know, it was kind of like a family thing, because like I see so many people like who know each other very well, just like interacting, and it was really good. It was really awesome. Second job I had was an official job, with a paycheck and everything. 'Cause the second one they just paid me in cash. Nothing felt official about that job. The second job, my first job. First job, the sign said, okay, for the first job, the sign said help wanted. I said, hey, I was wondering if I could work here. It said, sure, come back tomorrow. Here's a shirt, and yeah, wear black pants. And I did, and they just sent me straight to work. I was standing there in front of the basketball hoop, just doing my thing. They just paid me on how well I did. You know, just like how much money I collected, they just did something with the numbers, like divided it by something, I don't know, and just gave me it. Because I remember I raised about, I think, $2,000 for them, and I ended up getting about $150 something dollars. But the second job, they had a paycheck, hours, it was official, and I ended up working my butt off. Like, it was constant movement, you know. I get like 3 10-minute breaks. Every time I come home, I'd be tired. Yeah, they fired me from that job. So I got laid off because there were too many people. And now I'm trying to find a new job at maybe Subway, if they call me. They haven't yet, so pray for me. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys like it. I'm going to leave a link to the original video in the description down below. As always, I lost my balance. I hope you're having a good day. I know I am, and peace.